Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream. I decided to do something other than do estimates. I got home early because it was snowing so freaking hard, and I just refused to drive anywhere. So it's like, you know what? Screw it. I'll go home and do something constructive with my time. Which I did. I did a lot. Got home about, I guess that was about 3 o'clock. And yeah, I just sort of started working on a few estimates, got a bunch of stuff done, got a bunch of them sent out. Of course, you can't get any work if you don't send it out, right? So yeah, did that. Got that all done. Yeah, and after a certain period of time, I'm now doing this, going, you know what? Screw it, I need to do something else. Otherwise, my brain is going to go into full meltdown mode. There's only so many estimates you can do in a day before you just physically gotta do something else, right? So, I decided I might as well come on here, do another farming sim. Because I don't know why, I freaking love this game. It's almost stupid how much I love this game, but at the same time, I don't know. I know for a fact a lot of you guys enjoy it, so it's not really a hardship to do. And I did actually download a couple more mods. For one, the new mod. It should be in the forestry thing, I think. Forestry. Maybe. Ah, here it is. I got myself a wood chipper. I got a mod for a wood chipper. So yeah, it's an actual wood chipper. It's a Vermeer full ongoing wood chipper, and I can pile it. I can just pile wood chips. So that's gonna be awesome. I wish I could afford one in real life. It would be unfortunately another toy. Besides that, cows. We can actually build our own feedlot. Like, we can actually build a feedlot for cows. It's a buildable feedlot. So we can do like fencing around it. We can have the feed troughs. We can do milk. We can do a bunch of other things. I thought it was kind of a neat mod, so I figured, why not try it, right? Because we should while it's raining. One of these things is not like the others. There it is. We'll get this guy going with the fertilizer once more. Get that contract done. We have 1 day left. 1 day left before we can maybe, I don't know, get a contract. I don't get me wrong. The fertilizer one, that's a nice welcome bonus, but I would definitely like a little bit more than just fertilizer. Nothing wrong with the old fertilizing jobs, but I would prefer something a little bit more. So yeah, if I was to do a feedlot, I'd probably do it out here with the rest of this stuff. And I don't know, like maybe put this back down to grass or something, and then put it in here. Like in here. Because in theory, we could just move all this crap out of the way and plop it right here. Pluck it, pluck, if I could talk. I guess I should grab that. Grab another thing of water. I mean, I don't need the truck to move it. I can do it this way. And again, we are sort of working towards another goal, which is of course trying to figure out how to do or buy a air seeder. I could lease it, yes, but I'd rather buy it. Leasing costs are great and all, but after a period of time, they really friggin' suck. Alright, start filling water, please. Thank you kindly. And then, of course, with it, we'd probably have to get a milk truck and everything else. So it is a pain, but I kind of want to go down the avenue of having cattle along with sheep. Of course, that was the original plan for this section right through here. It wasn't for potatoes necessarily. It was actually for the purpose of, having animals here. And we could actually go with the bigger chicken barn. And what I mean by that is that there's another mod here that I downloaded, which is this guy. And that's 10,000 chickens. Unless we do that over here. We could actually do that over here. Sell this, move this, and then just move all of them to here, which is 10,000 chickens instead of 800. And don't get me wrong, 800 chickens is 800 chickens, but we could have 10,000. Then I wouldn't have to worry about moving them as often. How much was that thing again? I didn't even look. I forgot how much it was already. 25,000. Oh. Nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Okay, now can I actually get this thing to be close enough here and offload it? Maybe. Well, that's going awry already. Okay, can I... Nope. Can I go the other way? Well, this is going swimmingly well so far, isn't it? Maybe I'll try to hook it the other way. Meanwhile, the sheep are just watching this poor old farmer going, what's he doing over there? Is he trying to get us water? I think he is, but I think he's an idiot. Who knows what they're actually thinking? If I knew that, if I knew what animals were actually thinking, I'd probably be further along in life than I am currently. Not that that's a problem, but just saying. Okay, so we should have, in theory, lots of water here now. Yeah, we're in the green. We're not that bad. These guys are doing actually quite well. Like I said, we have 480 chickens. Beer, we got lots of wheat beer, but we're running low on barley, and I don't want to buy any more yet. And for those that were wondering, I did look it up. Unfortunately, the mod center for PlayStation and Xbox sucks. I'm just going to say that. It royally sucks because you're very limited in what you can download. There are some mods, but if you really want to mod out Farming Sim, unfortunately you have to do it by PC. And most people can't afford a PC like mine. Mine, I said this a little bit last night, and I'll say it again too. Mine is a gaming machine, but it was never designed as a gaming machine, if that makes any sense. I designed it for work first, gaming second. Does it have a big-ass graphics card in it? Yes, it does. Does it have a lot of CPU? Yes, it does. Does it have lots of RAM? Yes, it does. Because I built it so I could draft. I can draft plans with it, and it uses absorbance amount of CPU and RAM. Did I throw a big-ass graphics card in it? Yeah, okay, that's one thing I did. So I can play video games and do this. But it's a multi-purpose machine. It's designed not only for gaming, it's actually designed for doing drafting and architectural plans and stuff like that, which is huge. And of course I do all my bookkeeping and everything else on it, so it's a multi-purpose machine. Now, do I store all my data on one spot on my machine? Oh, hell no. I've got multiple backups. Actually, I have online backups too. I'm very particular on my data, and I'm also very particular, just not only do I have everything on different backups and everything for my business, but I also print everything out too. And you probably go, oh, well, you're not saving trees. Honestly, I'd rather have a paper copy than a backup copy that is physically in my hand. I don't know, maybe I'm old school. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Okay, well, probably shouldn't disconnect that there. See if I can back up slightly and not run over this bale anymore. There we go. And skewer my trailer. It won't make it. I just lightly bumped it, but that's okay. Okay, so fields wise, our stuff is going to be a little bit yet. Unfortunately, my stuff, like, that's getting close, but see the dark greens, 91, 100, 98, 102, 85, 80, or 33. Those fields in 46 are ready for basically harvest next month, which I'm really excited to do. I want to try the mods. I like my mods, alright? They're very lovely. So the other thing I was thinking of, if I had to, the point of my woodlot, yeah, the point of my woodlot was so I could, have wood. Now, I'm not sure if I would cut the wood and stack it, or just haul it away, or whatnot. It doesn't matter, really. Not to me, anyways. I could do all the shredding myself, and I think the shredding, the wood chips themselves are actually more than the wood. No, wood is more. More wood is definitely more, but the wood chips take up less space. If a wood chip could chip wood. So yeah, the wood chips take up less space. And I can sell the wood chips at Norse Market. Whereas the wood, I can only sell at Blumengart. Unless I put up a facility or something like a carpentry center. Well, that is a carpentry center right there. Which would take wood, and we could put it in production to make furniture, which I think then is sold at Norse Markets. Norse Markets does a lot of things. Oh, just Blumengart by the looks of things. I would have thought they would have, but well, I guess it's like a grocer. It's a grocer, but not a furniture store or general store. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay. Really? That's when you... Okay. I'm basically like the little monkey hiding in the monkey hiding in the corner with the symbols and the red eyeballs going ting, 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 ting. Because my brain doesn't always work after I do estimates. Because I so focused on, okay, so that I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, mount, doop, 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 doop. And that's the way my brain works. Like, I can physically see the job before it's ever done. So I can basically, in my mind, go, okay, this job, I got an 8-foot wall, that's 10 studs. I got a doorway in that wall, so I better make that 12 studs. Things like that. I could just go da-da-da-da-da-da-da and just rattle it off in my head. Well, then I got to put it on paper going, okay, well, I need X amount, X amount, X amount, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I just keep doing this until I basically have what the materials that I need. And I can do that basically from the ground up. So it's like, okay, well, 8-foot wall. There's a window and a door in this one, so I need, let's go 16 2x4 studs with the plates and everything. Okay, well, then I need, is this a load-bearing wall? No, it isn't. It's just an interior wall. It doesn't require headers. Oh, wait, yes, it does. It has a load point because there is a beam underneath it. Well, I could do this, And then it's like, okay, what is electrical? I need 2 plugs on reverse, so I need 2 boxes, I need 2 receptacles, I need basically want to use a wrap of electrical tape, marrettes if I'm needing to pigtail or if they're going direct, staples, how many feet of wire do I need, and I actually start rattling off everything just by exactly how much I need. And I'm not using a program, it's my head. So when I say that my head hurts after doing estimates, there's a reason. And I have endless emails of estimators going, "Well, would you like an estimation service? We have 98% accuracy." No, you don't. One, you don't know what I see. I can see the job done. So my job, I'm looking at, I'm going, okay, I need this. I need this. I need this. I don't know if it's a gift. I don't think it's a gift. I think it's just years experience. It is loading a lot. Why are you loading a lot? What are you doing differently tonight that you weren't doing before? Oh yeah, the foreclosure thing. $1,000 or $2,000 to come in and quickly like do touch-ups or whatnot. Yeah, I'm willing to do something. I'm always willing to try to do something. Unfortunately, a lot of times things don't quite work out, but you know, I'm still that kind of guy that's trying to help people. What am I trying to do here? Oh yes, that's right. I was seeing what the hell the jitter was. The jitterbug. The jitterbug? The jitterbug. The bug and the jitter. See, if you actually do a cleanup on a speed test, you can actually see what kind of jitter rates you get. And mine is so low that I don't think I have to worry about like 13 milliseconds of jitter. Alright, well, the loading on the YouTube thing is entirely the YouTube thing, apparently. Alright, we have nothing to fear. So we have one more day, basically, of May to deal with here. And then I guess we're on to, hopefully, harvesting. How is Dinglesnarf over here? How is Dinglesnarf? Dinglesnarf is 53% done. I guess we could actually visually see that, couldn't we? Fertilized. I think he's more than 50%. I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt here, but I'm pretty sure this space right here in the darker area is bigger than this. He's got some red dots in here too. Hey, good. That's big stones. That actually puts more wear and tear on your equipment. That's what I was going to look up for an FS mod, was rock picking, because there's a thing. There's a thing on it. Oh, that's just a regular Scorpio. I got one of those. I was hoping for a bigger one. I mean, if I have to use what I have to use, I'm fine with it. Well, there's Tater's John Deere pack, but I don't think Tater's John Deere pack actually has anything other than seeders and everything else. It's got 6M, 6R, 7R, 8R, 8RX, 9R, 9RX, 420R sprayer, 1775 NT planter, Big M450 mower, Big M450 mower with PTO, FSX 63 square baler, GA1513, which is a windrower, half pipe trailer, tedder, round baler, self-propelled feeder, disc harrow, loader wagon, mulcher, grassland care, mega roller, plow, annual straw blower, cultivator, has a Prolander in this, manure spreader, round bale trailer, solitaire, 12, which is a seeder, TX560D, which is a tipper trailer, loader wagon, road guard, rapid 450 trail bed, spader, stone picker, the Rock King 9600, and the Scorpio 550. I mean, it's a hell of a pack. I don't think I'd actually use 98% of that, but I mean, it's there. That guy's got over $1 billion in the picture. We're not there yet. We are not at $1 billion. We're at 86,000. We're marginal broke right now. We did actually have more. We did indeed. Unfortunately, we actually ended up buying 37. Farmland for 37, of course, is worth 427,000, which is basically what we paid for it. 100 is worth $500,000 easy now. 121 is worth half. We do have 139 down here, and 78 and 71. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily need 71. I was planning on something, but at the end of the day, 78 we do, but 71, I think what we might do is sell 71. Yeah. Sell it back. And for those that are wondering, that's that weird house that I keep coming out of every morning randomly because I have no idea. That one there, that's the house I keep coming out of when I start the map. So we've returned this one and this field. And Michael Hammond bought it. Must be Richard Hammond's son or something. I don't know. So yeah, no. It's one of those fields. It's a small hay field, and I don't plan on doing anything with it other than hay. I've got my own hay fields to deal with, and honestly, I don't need any more bales right now. If I do like 9 to 10 bales a year, that's probably enough at this point. And if I need more, well, I still have some grasslands here. We, like out of here, we did, what was it, 24? No, we did more than that. We did 24 on that end, and we did 16 off this. So if I needed to, I could put it into 180 centimeter bales, and I could get 20 odd bales a friggin' year off this. That's more than enough. Yep, the cough's starting to get. Where is my medicine? There's my medicine. For all those that don't know, if you take a swill of Yag, clears up the sinuses. And yes, I do sniff it too. Oh, it clears the sinuses right out. And by the way, you don't need much. Just a little sip of this and you're good to go for a while. Oh, I can breathe again. I don't know why. Every time at night, that's when it gets bad. We are actually leasing that swather. That's another thing I wouldn't mind doing, is buying the swather and the header. But here's the thing: if we do get a contract with doing barley or whatnot, pardon me, I want to see if this will actually cut the straw. I know the John Deere does. I don't know if that one will. Bloody hell. Don't know. Can you talk straight? No, I mumble mostly. Because honestly, I actually like this case. This is... Well, it has sentimental value, alright? I fell over backwards when I found it on the Mod Hub. Number one reason why I fell so deeply in love with this thing is because it was the first swather I ever used, and it was a Case 8860 HP. Exactly the same. Well, other than the header. This header is way, way larger than I started with. But, I say but, the Case IH 8860 by itself with a 24-foot header is what I started driving. That was my first swather I ever used. So, does this one have sentimental value in using it? Oh, hell yeah. I freaking love it. That's why I said I fell in love with it. Why? Because it's the first swather I ever used. And unfortunately, the guy that I used it for in that, well, he passed away now, but a year and a half after I used it, he traded it off for a MacDon. Don't get me wrong, I can't remember what it was, if it was 710 MacDon or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. But it was also a good swather, don't get me wrong. It was a good swather, but I don't know, it didn't feel the same as the case did. And, you know, that's the sad truth. I actually started falling in love with the case. I know I'm a John Deere guy through and through. I love my John Deere stuff. I don't know if it's the color green or what it is, but I do like my John Deere stuff. However, after driving, well, actually I can show you guys. It's on the game. The quad track, the Case IH quad track. Where is it? This guy. The Steiger quad track. This is what my cousin has. He's got, well, actually his is a 460, I think. Or is it a 620? I can't remember. Might be a 580, to be honest. I can't remember what the hell the model number is on it. But I know he's got one. And, like, I don't know if I can actually show you guys from here. Maybe. This right here, the joystick, bar none, is the best setup for a big tractor I've ever used. And, well, I am not a farmer. I will say that right now. I am not a farmer. I never proclaimed to be a farmer. I am not a farmer. But I am a farmer's helper. And I'm fine with that, because then I don't have to pay the bills. I'd hate to pay the bills some of these guys pay. Holy crap. Yeah, no, I've been pretty fortunate over the years to be able to drive some of these units, right? So the fact that I can actually run, like, the Case quad tracks or the 9RXs or stuff like that is really quite nice. I enjoy it. Why did my yard light come on? Hang on, I'm gonna check this out. It might not be anything, but it might be something. And we have enough snow. I can tell who drove in just by looking. Who? Nobody. Not a friggin' soul. Must have been a bird or something go past. There's 2 sets of tracks. That's how I know who's been in this yard. There's 2 sets of tracks. Mine leaving, mine coming back. Oh, today was special too. So, well, get into it, tell you about it. So, I borrowed a wood chipper, a PTO-driven wood chipper from my dad's friend. And, well, when we first got it, don't get me wrong, it's a fairly new unit, but when we first got it, it was kind of in rough shape. There was, none of the bearings were greased, so it was running dry. I don't like that. Yeah, too many things can happen. I know it's still a new unit. You can run it, and it's probably fine. No issues for a while. Until you have an issue, right? But for the most part, no, it was working great. Not an issue with that, but I greased it. But it was stalling up. Like, you could ram stuff into it and you had to push fairly hard and everything else. And it chipped it, but it wasn't chipping good. So I took it all apart, noticed that it had cheap blades. Like, when you consider that this thing was brand new, you expected to have decent blades in it. It didn't. It didn't have very good blades. It had basically mild steel, and I actually made blades for it. Way better. You know what? These branches are all fairly tall. Like maybe that one, or I don't think you have to worry about any of the branches catching anything. This one maybe. This one's fairly low, but I don't know if I can reach it. Like, I guess if I can't reach it, it's not a problem. So yeah, no, it's there. Air light went off. So, you know, it was a problem. It wasn't shredding right, chipping right, and doing all that. So we replaced that. And then the frickin' shear pin broke on the PTO, which, yeah, okay, stress, fatigue, whatever. It's not his fault. Shit happens, right? And actually, that's kind of the design of a shear pin. If there's fatigue or stress, it breaks rather than fucking up anything like your gearbox or your PTO. So, good. We got new bolts, put that in there, and then all of a sudden it was like magic happened. This thing ran great, and it was like, okay, you start it, and it's just like right through, and it's like, oh, don't hold on to that. Your arm might be gone with it. So yeah, we returned it today, and we went through everything with the owner, and he was really happy, and kind of blown away that we went above and beyond like we did. But at the same time, I was like, no, no. If I'm borrowing something, I like to always return whatever I borrow in as good a shape or better. I chalk that up a lot as that's the way I was raised. I do believe Dad is honest about that too. I think he does that a lot as well. If you borrow something from somebody, you return it better than it was. That is almost like a sponsorship right there. I don't know who the hell this McFarlane equipment is, but no. Speaking of rum, we're gonna have a rum tonight. This one appears to be a good one. I think. Hercules Deluxe. 3 times the rum. Or, what else do we got? Another one. St. James. Let's go with a St. James. Yeah, we're going to go with the St. James rum. Put that one away there. I mean, we got a bunch of time. I started my stream freaking near at 7, so we have an extra hour to play with stuff. So we should be hopefully into June and maybe harvesting tonight. So I'm hopeful for that. Hopeful. I didn't say it's going to work. I said I was hopeful. And I'm getting stuffed up again. I know what everyone else keeps saying, too. Oh, that's why. FYI, if you pour a good rum into a glass, you might want to not pour it in your scotch glass. The first sip is white, but after that, it's oh, that's so much better. You basically got to wash the essence of scotch out of your glass So the first hit, you're going, whoa, there's a bit of peat. And, yeah, going back to it, so we're going to basically use a pickup header. We use these more so for our canola, but you can straight combine canola. So long as you have a pod ready stuff. And when I say pod ready, you kind of want it not to shatter. So we typically, when we do everything, we cut our canolas green, and we let nature take its course. We let nature take the chlorophyll out, which is poisonous, and we let it naturally cure, which actually works really good if you swath it right away and have it rain on it, because if the rain actually washes it out, and then you can use a pickup header to do it. But you can also do this with your cereals, which is what we're planning on doing. And going back to it, I've said this a million times on here too. With it, we're going to go all natural. So weeds and everything from now on, we're going to basically leave, except for if it's in the early stages of growing, we might use what's called a harrow, a heavy harrow, which is, well, that's power harrows. That's not gonna do us any justice. It's probably in weeders. Yeah, so these are heavy harrows. That one's 12 meters. That one's 15 meters. And this big bad boy, which is a harrow, like I said, heavy harrow, which is a Borgo. It's a 21 to 27, depending on which model you go with. We could go with the larger one. And if we catch the weeds in time, we can use the heavy harrow to knock out the weeds instead of using chemicals, which is kind of what I'm going with. And typically speaking, depending on what you do around where I live, you typically will find farmers at the end of the year use the heavy harrows such as this to knock the straw down, and it helps it rot. That's if you're doing zero-till. If you're not doing zero-till, you're going to end up cultivating and still using heavy harrows afterwards, which we might do. And of course, if you're doing it that way and you're not doing zero-till, what it does is you have less soil compaction, which two things happen. It allows your straw to rot, and it also allows the moisture to penetrate the ground more. Now, that's good in some regards, but in others, if you have a dry year, it actually goes against it, where the hard pack will help the water sit on top, whereas if you had it cultivated, the water will run in and disperse, and you're pooped anyways. There's merits for both. I'm not that good of a farmer, like I said. I'm not a farmer in real life. I don't even challenge the idea that I could be. Oh. That's my pre-alarm for streaming. The normal alarm, which is at 7:40. Telling me I need to get my ass in gear and get the stream up and running. Yeah. So, yeah, no, like I said, I don't pretend to be a farmer. I am not a farmer by any means or a stretch of the imagination. I'm not. I'm not going to say that I am. What I do say is, yeah, okay, I've lived in a tractor for 16 hours a day, many a time. I don't actually mind it. I was going to say I don't particularly enjoy it. No, that's a lie. I actually really enjoy it. Does it get tiresome after a period of time? Yeah, sometimes. Depends on how many days you've done it in a row. For us, in particular, like when we were combining 4 years ago, that was a good one as a tell. I lived out on the farm site for basically 2 weeks on a stretch. And if we could get away with it, like it depended on our moisture content, if we could get away with it, we farmed in a harvester for 12 to 16 hours a day. And we would have went longer, but it was starting to get tough, which is usually a sign that we're having vehicles seem like they're tearing. I wonder if I can clean that up any with where's the graphics on this thing? Is that it? That it? No, that. Easy controls, yeah, engine speed, yada yada yada. Yeah, that's just normal settings. Maybe I can't. We had to do that before. Oh yeah, you can set your default price. Default's 0.9. I actually have it just a touch lower. Based on everything else. Eligibility to buy, product manager. Yep, that's all good. Mission fix on. Okay, the mission fix that when supplying own productions, they do not go into the own warehouse, can be deactivated here. Correction and pricing adjustment difficulty level can be deactivated here. No, we did that. We want that on. Everything else looks fine. Gonna have to play with that later. Well, this is a good tale of stats. Session and totals. Totals, we've done 501 acres cultivated. Haven't cultivated much. Haven't plowed much. Haven't sown that much. Haven't sprayed. Well, we sprayed a fair bit. We've harvested a fair pile, but we still have a lot to do. Seed usage. We've done 34,000 liters of seed, 22,000 odd for fertilizer, bales produced 870, trees planted 260, so that's a plus. Trees cut down only 7. So anyone that keeps saying, you're cutting trees down, why are you doing this? Because I planted more than I've cut down. Alright? We're fine. We are fine, alright? We've only done 20 missions. 2 years played. 1 AI currently working. No bales stored. Yeah, there's bales stored. Fuck off. There's like 30 some. Nor stored pallets. Where am I supposed to store these pallets? I just put them in buildings. Is that what you're supposed to do? I don't know. How is that guy doing, by the way? Oh, what I was looking for. Oh, he's 90%. Holy crap, he's 90%. Let's go see how the Das Flugel is doing. There he is. He's actually doing all right. There is a few things that will start to change as we go on. We didn't go into extreme hard mode off the start, but we'll eventually work our way there. I remember a time when even my grandfather, I remember he was really excited when he had a 16-foot header, straight cut header for his white combine, which was amazing. Took forever to combine a frickin' quarter section, but it was amazing for its time. And I remember my neighbor, same one that I grew up using the swather with, when he bought my grandfather's land, he started using it was a John Deere, but I can't remember what series it was. But it was, his header was a 24 foot. And to be honest with you, that 24 foot made my grandfather's 16 foot look tiny. It was like, oh, you should see this thing. It's monstrous. And I remember that was the first combine I ever used too, was my neighbor's, and I started combining with them and whatnot. And you're really starting to look at it going, okay, that 24 foot, it still took us 3 days to combine a frickin' quarter section. It wasn't like instant, it took forever. And that's not saying anything if if it rained or snowed or what have you. So, yeah, we're working away and doing everything, bumping along, and it's like, did you guys know that it takes this long? So, 4 years ago, again, we're combining, right? We have 8 combines going. 3 of which were in the field that I was in, right? And you gotta think, we're using these stupid drapers, right? These giant draper headers, and 3 combines going non-stop. We're cutting down a frickin' quarter section of land every 4 to 5 hours. Alright? Let that sink in. 4 to 5 hours for 3 big burly frickin' combines, not stopping. 4 to 5 hours to combine that quarter section versus 3 days what we used to do. And it's like, holy crap, mind boggle. And we did actually have 4 or 5 in the field at one time too. And it's like, holy crap, we just cut our time down dramatically. The problem we did find is if you have too many of those big combines in a quarter section of field, that it gets a little bit hectic. Like you don't really run into each other, but you kind of have to like gauge yourself going, okay, if I pull out here, he's going to hit me here. No, I gotta wait my turn, let him pass me, start the next throw as I... Okay, well... it's easier nowadays to use less equipment than it is to use more. More is not always better. It gets to be interesting. It does get to be a tad bit interesting. Interesting. Intrastate. That's a new one. Interesting. There we go. Sorry, English is not my first language. Gibberish is. I said that to a guy recently. I went up to him and I started doing my stupid quasi stutter thing and going dab 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 dab. And he goes, "What's that?" And I went, "Oh, well, I'm fluent in one language, but not the other." Then he goes, "What do you mean?" And I went, "Well, I'm fluent in gibberish, but I can't actually say anything in English." Not fluently, anyways. Okay, let's try this. I think he's close anyway. Yeah, he's 97. He pulled too far over. Now it's perfect for over there, and he's overlapping a little bit, but that's fine. That's entirely fine. For my name's Julius. He's got some major rocks. I would have to hire, with my rock thing, I would have to hire like 2 or 3 people to go back and forth down this frickin' field in order to make it worthwhile. But if you don't, it's basically maintenance of your field, right? If you don't do it, you kind of screw up your equipment. And pretty quickly, too. We don't actually... Well, we used to. We used to have lots of rocks, but nowadays, not so much. I've picked most of the field. You done yet? 98. I basically want to stick with them so I can disengage the hire, so I can just get it done. So 82 onto this, we should be about 220. I mean, We're better than we used to be. Sort of. Still 98. Yeah. Yeah. When you really start looking back, even my time, and I'm not an old guy by any means yet, but even when you consider my time in this world for farming, and for what they've accomplished in it, it's amazing how much difference from when I started to what's going on now. It's amazing. It truly is. Oh, we're done. We are done. We can collect that one. I'm standing in the middle of a field now. There's no major ones that I want to deal with. Huh. Oh, 71 was the one we had. Okay, I was going to say 70. Hey, look, they want to harvest it now. Yep. Alright. So we're good on that point. Just want to check the bees while I'm here. Check the bees. Bees! Bees are so good. My chickies are doing real nice. Like I said, I don't need any bales, but I'm definitely going to use these small guys up first. They're only 6,500 instead of 9,000. Which, okay, but I get. I do get, right? You know, if I could walk on a fence line like this normally, I'd be doing good. I'm doing real good. I like my birch trees. Wish my spruce would grow. Yeah, it's pretty close. We'll have to do all the production and stuff after. But we're going to skip ahead to the next day here and see if there's any other contracts that need our attention. And if not, we'll just mosey on through life. Dong, dong. Alright, we spent a pile of money. Vehicle leasing costs again. That's my life in a nuthatch. Do we got any other contracts that we can... No, I'm not seeing anything else that stands out. Field 32 isn't even on here. That would be a good one, but unfortunately not. How are we doing with this? $5 ones. These guys are getting close to reproduction mode. Wool 709. I think we have one of them that's good. Production wise, crude oil. We got a couple that are 1,000. Which we could put in the pickup truck. We could put it in the pickup truck. That's what I was going to look for too. I know now. I was going to look for a long box like old Ford pickup truck or something. You know that I'm not a Ford guy by any means. I'm a GM guy. But you couldn't beat the old dependability of an old farm truck. And I'm talking about those old 250 Fords that were from like a 1988 to 1992. They were pieces of crap, but they were dependable as hell. You could put like 3 pallets of crap in the back, drive it down the road, tailgates falls off, don't give a shit. You just keep on going. That is the ultimate of farm truck reliability. And actually, when you think about it, all it was doing was shedding parts, so it made it lighter. But I'm not kidding. Those trucks were amazing. And you didn't feel bad about getting door dings in it. It's like, you call that a door ding? Whack. Yeah, no. You can't beat those old long box Fords. Yeah, you really couldn't. Even the square body GMs couldn't touch them. Why do I think those trees are taller now? Or am I getting shorter? That's still 17-1. Grow, you little buggers. I don't think they listened. So let's go back to here. The honey will be ready. No. We still don't have enough wool there. But the honey will be. The honey is ready for pickup. I mean, really. I am still contemplating doing that with the other one. But I need to turn this back down so I can scoop. Scoopa poopa potato. Really? Oh. See? I was gonna say. There should be more than just one box. Yeah, it's almost full again. And then I was talking to my cousin today. One of the million that I have around here. And what I was trying to do is I was trying to ask him about scrap metal. I don't have the time, even in a slow time, I don't have the time or effort to take metal to the scrap dealer. It's a giant pain in my ass, alright? So I phoned him up and said, hey, what do you do for scrap metal cleanup? Because I know you have scrap metal cleanup because he has a manufacturing business. He builds stuff out of steel. And he goes, well, you know, I've got these metal bins here. He says, they come to me and they just pick them up. I went, oh, okay. Well, who do you go with? And he says, well, how much do you have? And I said, well, not that much. Like one cube of scrap metal plus a bunch of random scrap. I said, I probably got maybe 2 cubes. 2 cubic meters. And he goes, oh, so like 3-4 yards maybe? Maybe. He says, I've got like 3 bins here. And he says, just bring your crap here, dump it off. And he says, don't worry about it. Anytime that you need to dump your metal, just dump it here. And I said, well, I do appreciate it. I don't even care about getting paid for any of it. I just need to get rid of it, right? And he says, yeah, don't worry about it. Just dump it off in here. And he says, I'll deal with it for you. Oh, shit, I appreciate that. And then we got talking, and he says, yeah, I'm thinking about renovating the frickin' living space. And because he's got living space in a shop. And I said, I mean, we're slow right now. We could maybe, you know, lend a hand, do a little bit of work. And he says, well, I'll think about it. And he says, I know you guys are good. So the answer to the question is, could I lift the front end of this trailer up enough that I can move it? Short answer, no. Well, I guess I could. That's all I wanted to do anyways. I just wanted to move back far enough that I could get at the hay, the wool bale pallet thing. Wool bale pallet thing. Yep, that's the words I was looking for. I mean, I guess I could put all the wool in there and store it. But the chicken hub thing I want to kind of think about doing. The trees I could move over to the other one. And I will say this again, if you guys are enjoying the content and you're watching this at a later date and want to support the channel, hit that subscribe button. It's one of the best ways to support the channel. We are planning on sticking around and being here for a while, so if you guys are looking to hang out with me some more, by all means hit that subscribe button. It's either underneath the video or the little Huskarl in the bottom right corner, hovering right beside the gas tank right now. He's probably huffing frickin' fumes. That's what he's probably doing right now, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he's doing it anyways. I don't know if you necessarily trust the little Huskarls pumping out fumes, so I'll smack him upside the head and he'll pop out a button and hopefully go away. Or just stare at you funny like, is that all you got? Damn it! Okay, I'll put this in the empty bay right here. That way we can maybe do something with this. I guess I could... That Borgo would be a direct seed. Of course, this isn't direct seed through here. I might just put this back down to grassland like that was. I don't even care about the rocks in the corner, to be honest. Don't really make money on rocks. I'm not going to put a rock crusher in just for that. So we'll sell this building, we'll put this down to grass, or whatever you want to call it, whatever I did there. And then we'll put the bigger chicken coop in, which is $25,000. And yeah, we'll see where we land with that. And we kind of, other than Assassin's Creed, obviously, and Sniper Elite and stuff like that, we are kind of more focusing on going back to the roots, which are more simulation games. We've talked about it quite extensively. I wouldn't mind doing Let's Plays on a lot of other things. It's just, this is kind of my main focus, is doing this stuff. And this map in general too is, I love it. Even if a new one came out, like a new Farming Sim 23 or something like that, I don't know if I'd switch right away. I enjoyed this one too much. I actually enjoyed 19 too much. Way too much. But I must admit, 22 is better in a lot of ways. There we go. I guess we can store that stuff in there. I like my little tree line. I'm actually thinking about putting more in like that. We do got the tree planter, but it's almost half side easier just to plant the trees. Okay, demo this building. Do we demo it or do we move it? No, we demo it. Screw it. We just demo it. Get rid of it. I don't need it. Landscaping. Painting, I guess. I guess it's considered painting grass, yes. It's all in plants. Meadow. Yeah, these are decorative plants. Are they? Are they really? Sorry about the sneeze there. Change cursor size. That's cursor shape, but okay. Brush size 9. Alright. Let's try that. Poof. That's all grass though. Oh, I see. I should probably paint this first. Okay, I get it now. Plop. Okay, putting it back down the grass. Not any fanciness there, just like that. Let's just go like that. Yeah, that's looking better. Let's go back to plants and then grass. Let's goes over top of the dirt a little bit more. Oops, went in that guy's field. Oops, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Guess we could actually do the rest of this in grass too. Yeah, it costs a little money, but I'd rather have the grass than nothing. Gotta go on the top of the dirt platform there, but that's fine. This stuff's expensive. Alright, so we want a dirt path. Probably something like this. Kind of like that. And just kind of go like that. Fun and quirky. Hey, look! We now can mow more lawns. I mean, I actually like it better than just the boring frickin' grass, right? So, I know it's 25,000. We spent a pile already doing this, so let's do the animals. Let's do the monster barn with the chickens. And we'll do it back here. There we go. New chicken barn. So we can buy the chickens. We can buy the fully fledged ones at $50. And or we can move stuff in. Including the feed, apparently. The feed can go right here. Okay, that's I kind of like that. The chicken entrance area is right on the main road, which we've partially covered. Oh well. It is what it is, but it's fine. Yeah, I like this better. Alright, where is that truck of mine? There it is. I guess we shouldn't move the chickens yet. We should actually think about higher priorities, which is trying to find that mysterious frickin' tandem truck of mine. There it is. Because we could put Soygrum in it. A full load. We'll have more. Do a full load of Soygrum. And haul it there and see where it does. That's a tree. The million trees that I planted. Alright, I'll go around this way. So what'd you guys do in the last day of May? Oh, you know, got into no good. We have no wheat, we have no barley, very few oats. We got enough Soygrum to do this. I think, anyways. What we got for contracts? Nothing yet. Of course not. Well, at least we spent time doing something constructive, like get a new chicken barn up and running, because I was really curious about this. And yes, we are going to sell the other one, as soon as we get this one up and running. Then we don't have to worry about the chickens ever again, really. Right now I am having to sell them before they're at their prime. And that's specifically just because what the hell am I going to use them for, right? I got to get them out of there because they keep reproducing, and if they keep reproducing, I'm running low on space. So by doing this bigger mod, hopefully it works. We're going to find out real quick here. Oops, I oversteered and ran into a tree. So by doing this, we should potentially up our production for our chickens, and thusly not have to worry as much for them. I hope. I hope. I hope. I hope. I hoppity hoppity hippity hop. Alright, so that's the feed, right? Hey! Not a problem. This is the main reason why I'm never getting rid of my tandem, alright? This thing is awesome for tasks like this. I was originally thinking of selling it, but why? Why? Alright, so we can bring our other truck out here now. I can take this back to the farm, grab the other one, and we can officially get the chickens from that one over there. Wait a minute. Can I take the feed out of that one? I don't think I can. don't think I can actually take the feed out of that one. But I can transfer the chickens. Nope, there's no way to get the feed back out. Oops, hit the bucket. I kicked the bucket. Alright, so we should be able to move them to the new facility and we should be just fine. And then we won't have to worry about how many chickens are being produced. Actually, hang on, we don't have to move them right away anyways. When you think about it, there is food in there. We're going to lose the food anyways when we go to sell the building. We might as well leave them in there for a little bit and use up the feed, I think. I think that's a good way to go about it. Because otherwise, I can see where this could go wrong quickly. Well, not really wrong, but you know what I mean. Okay, so animal production, we have, oh, that's sheep barn, very large. Extra large. It says a sheep barn. It is for chickens. Because we put chicken feed in the chicken feed. Very interesting. Okay, I'm going to have to use the facilities real quick because after 2 cans of beer, it's got to go somewhere. I will be right back. I will leave you with the subtle essence of that view. Hello, bathroom, my old friend. And here we are once again. Oh. You wouldn't believe how refreshing that was. It was amazing. Or it felt amazing anyways. What else? Oops, that's not what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. We still don't have any other contracts that are tickling my fancy. So none of those are worthwhile. I think this one's still sitting at 2. I guess we could sleep one more day away and see what kind of mischief we can get into. I'm hoping to knock it back down to real time so we can do a bunch of harvesting. Harvesting would be ideal. I'd imagine that's the one thing I actually like doing a lot. I like it in real life too. I don't know why. Boink. Sleep. Sleep. Sleep the night away. It rained at one point. Bing. Boom. We slept a long time. Great demand in Bloomingurt. Still tons of vehicle costs. That doesn't end. Cut chickens. We can spawn 1 pallet of them, which is good. We could actually. That's pretty close. Could do something with that. These are all not enough. I want at least 1,000 of them. These are getting closer, but even yet, not really worried. Chickens, we have all of a sudden given birth to more chickens. By the massive amounts. But see, again, look at the grain. Look at the amount of grain that we have in here. I don't want to frick with that. Yeah. I do believe I hear the phone ringing again. Well, if my cell phone goes off, I'll quickly run off and answer it, but, I'll leave you guys with a beautiful picture while I answer the phone, because I suspect my phone is going to ring, since a home phone went off. And yes, we still have a home phone. Why? We won't go there. So yeah, we gained another 120 chickens here. Which is actually alright. We need the chickens now that we have a massive new barn to put them in. Contracts. Do we have any new contracts? We still don't have any new contracts! I was really hoping for it, considering 91, 100, 98, 102, 85 are ready to go. Give me the contract. Give me the contract. Okay, almost. Oh, yep, that's the phone. Hang on. I'll be right back. Sorry, everyone, but that was actually kind of an important phone call. That was actually my father. And it was important by means of, A, I really did want to talk to him. And B, he's overseas and I got to pick him up from the airport. So it's kind of one of those things that you kind of have to be upfront and talk to him about stuff, right? So yeah, no, it was an important phone call. I'm happy that I got a chance to talk to him. And you know, speaking of fathers, years and years ago, I used to basically yell and scream at him all the time. And unfortunately, he did the same with me. And what we didn't realize between the two of us was that we both had the same idea. It's just the way to get to that idea was different. And neither one of us could understand how each other got to that conclusion. Now, though, it's completely different. It's like, well, what do you think on this? And I go, geez, you know, if we did something like this, it would probably work out pretty good. And, you know, he looks at me and goes, you know, that's a pretty damn good idea. I'm willing to bet a lot of other people have the same thing. It's like when you're younger, you just fight with your parents. But when you start getting older, it's like, holy crap, why are we doing this? You know, and I find now that it's actually quite nice having him around. And when he flies overseas, I worry about him. I stress out about it because of it. I shouldn't, but I do. I still get this stupid. My fields are ready to go for. Well, two of them are ready to go for next month, which are not the barleys. I have a wheat field, and I have an oat field. So we will be busy for that point in time. Not sure what I'm. Oh, I was going to grab the forklift. That's what I was going to do. Yep. Mm-hmm. Take over that pallet of chicken. I think the pallet of chicken is actually not worth as much as it used to be, unfortunately. Cut chicken. Yeah, it's going down. It's not going up. You know what I might do? I might wait for it to recoup itself. I might actually just store it for now instead of doing anything. Why is it doing that? Why are you being ignorant? Why are you being so ignorant? Okay, well, let me take a look. I can check this out. Maybe it's a jitter in the internet. Although my internet's been pretty bloody good lately. That is what? That is idle latency. Idle latency is peanuts. I mean, should I be worried about latency that is like 34 milliseconds? Is that a lot of latency? I don't know. I don't think it is. Okay, the jitters. Okay, I have a little bit of jitter right now. It's about 90 milliseconds. Or upload latency. I guess it's upload latency. That one was a lot better. I just did it again, and it's 32 milliseconds latency and 51 milliseconds latency on the upload. I don't think I have anything to worry about. I think what is going on is strictly YouTube sucks right now. My grass is growing. I'm just about ready to frickin' swath it again. Or leave it. One of the two. Forklift, that's what I was doing. Just like real life. You get over to a spot and you go, what was I here for? That's me and another contractor, right? One of my good buddies. We tag off on jobs all the time. And talked to him about one job and it said, yeah, you know, this is getting really bad. And he says, what do you mean? I said, I had to take the step counter off. He started laughing, right? Frickin' just burst out laughing, going, Are you kidding me? He says, I had to do the same thing. He says, probably for the same reason. I went, what's your reasoning? He goes, I took it off because it's just depressing. I went, oh, it's the same reason then. We had to take it off because we started realizing that what it actually means is just a generalization of, you go to your truck to find a tool that you're looking for to do the job, and you stare at the truck and going, I came out here for... Nope, got nothing. Well, I'll go back in and start working. So you run back inside, you work it for a couple seconds, so you go, I went out there to grab this. Like a hammer or a tool or whatever, right? So you go back out to the truck, you grab the tool, you come back in, and you look at the tool, you look at the job, and you go, was this the right tool that I needed for this? And you realize really quickly that you've done this all day. So if you do like 20 to 30,000 steps a day, you start realizing going, Well, what this really means is I've spent my entire day wandering around pointlessly trying to find the tool I was looking for. And in the end, not actually finding the right tool you're looking for. I need a frickin' garden shed to put this crap into. Unless I just put it in there for now. I need a warehouse. There's a couple mods I need to find now. A, an old beater long box Ford. And B, I need to find some sort of warehouse to put frickin' pallets into. Just to store them until the pricing gets better. Sure, I'll put it here. So ram it through the wall. Yeah, it's a good spot for it. Yep, seems logical. Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, it does that because of oversaturation of the market, alright? There is a valid reasoning behind it. Any contracts yet? You ain't contract yet for me? I want a contract. Give me something good. Oh. Okay. Oh, yeah, right. We started a new day. That means that the honey is full. The honey is full. See, that field is... That is basically ready to harvest, isn't it not? Oh, that's canola. I guess it isn't ready to harvest. Never mind. Don't listen to me. I don't know anything. Yeah, so I actually had a really good chat with my father, which is really good. I haven't actually talked to him for about a week and a half. So it's kind of one of those things I try to actually do more often. And overall, he's one of those cool dads, right? Unfortunately, I've got to my age where I just start to realize it now, and it's almost like it's too late, but it's never too late type thing. It's really never too late to build a good relationship with your dad. I wish I did it sooner. How's that look? Actually looks pretty good. I have a good relationship with my mother. Overall. Actually, both my parents overall, when you consider everything that we do in that, and what I do for my parents, we have all a good understanding and relationship with each other. Sometimes they can be a little intense, yes, I agree with that, but at the same time, I think that's just normal. I have probably a better relationship with my parents than my sister does. And I will honestly say that. My sister, unfortunately, has this... The only way I can actually say this without being offensive is millennial. We're both technically millennials, and, well, unfortunately, in that sense, she takes the cake as the typical millennial, whereas I'm one of the few ones that works my ass off to get tried to get ahead, and unfortunately, 9 times, well, I wouldn't say 9 times out of 10, a good 8 times out of 10, unfortunately, it doesn't work out. But I think that I chalk that up as I'm too honest for the job. I should charge more for a lot of jobs I do, but I don't because I'm honest about it, and I'm trying to do it to not like I still got to make a living, and I still got to pay my employees and stuff, right? But at the same time, I tend to be more honest about certain things. Some regards, it may not be a good thing. So this is the sheep barn large. And this one says it's the sheep pasture large. Does this one say that it's a sheep barn? Yeah, sheep barn extra large that we put. Did I fuck up and do this as a... Nope, this is a chicken barn. So this is technically a sheep barn, but it's a chicken barn. Okay. Now we figured out what the problem was. Because I was looking at that going... Okay, a little context needed here. I'm a little bit confused. Frickin' pallet's almost full. And we might have to actually bring the trailer down and start selling this stuff. Okay, so we're holding over one thing of chicken, frozen chicken. We've got a bunch more new chickens, which I wonder. I know we have food here and everything else, but I might actually, while we're waiting for a contract to manipulate out of thin air, I think I'll drive my truck down here and we'll move the elder chickens, the ones that can reproduce, to the new barn. And we'll sort of start slowly moving them and see if one group will start reproducing and doing all that fun stuff. Maybe move the roosters as well, and I don't know, see how that goes. I don't know how it's going to go, so there's only one way we can find out, and that's by doing. The one thing I didn't get a chance to talk to my dad about was a little pet project, you could say. And I want to gauge his response and see what he thinks, and if I'm out to lunch, or if it makes sense, or you know, to see what he thinks on it, because I do value his opinion. He's a lot more metal savage-esque than I am. He understands the metal a lot more than I do, if it's feasible or whatnot. And who knows, instead of trying to weld a piece, maybe he would just come up with something that'd go, why do you need to weld it? We could just machine it. Cool, could you machine it? Because I have no idea. Okay, open sesame seed. Okay, I want that one. And I want that. Move to trailer. I can only move 60 at a time. There's 120. Well, the problem with putting it this way is it's a little harder to back the trailer into. You know, Giant Software, the same guys that actually make Euro Truck and American Truck Sim. Wonder where they got the idea from. Okay, well, badoof. That. Oops, that's weird. Yes. So I could move 180 of them, but I couldn't. Oh, maybe I have to change the deck. Because there is, as far as I can see, there's 2 layers, right? 3 layers? 2 layers. Maybe it's a deck thing. I don't know. I thought I could only ever move 60, which was annoying. Maybe I can move more. Revelations! Okay, we will want those ones. Yes, we want to move that to trailer. Yes. Okay. So let's... Can I change? Because that's the bottom. Can I... Up here, so... Up here, so... Yeah, they automatically move. Little did I know. Alright, well, oops. Well, I just took out the beehives. That's groovy. And like I keep saying, and I will constantly keep telling everyone too, that if you are enjoying the content and whatnot, and you'd like to help out the channel, subscriptions are the best way to go, as I'm constantly being completely inept in backing up a trailer right now. Yeah, if you do want to help out the channel, of course, hitting that subscription button does help out everyone quite a bit. And of course, you can do that underneath the video, and of course, you can also do that by smashing into a beehive at very slow, obnoxious speeds, and it should pop out a button for you. No, it's actually the husker on the bottom right corner that'll do that. He's sniffing some major fumes right now in the bottom right corner, so if you like to make sure that he doesn't sniff any more paint fumes, you just smack him and he'll pop out a button and he'll go away. He's probably still going to smell the fumes, because that's exactly where he is in the video. He's just right beside the fuel tank. G. Yes, there we go. We have 130 out of 10,000 chickens. And this thing, I'm just going to park on the other side of the fence here. No more roosters over there. That's alright. They shouldn't reproduce, but they should continue to eat. And eating is just fine by my definition. I wonder if I could put the gooseneck on this. I know it's not a fifth wheel. I know that. But... I know it's not a fifth wheel, but technically it might kind of work. I don't know. We can try it. If we can, we could use the truck to pick that stuff up, because I don't really want to use my half-ton for that. It is faster. I get that. But I would have to disconnect it from the bale trailer that I might need right away, so... You know, one thing leads to another. It's a pain to keep hooking that one up. So we could try it. I don't think it'll work, but I can try it. If it does work, I'll be laughing. Endless laughter. Would be the first time I've actually seen a gooseneck connected to a truck. It does work. See? It works actually just fine. Well, I guess we could load that stuff on. Actually, that was way easier to hook up. Oh, crap, I almost drove in the back end of my own tractor. Driving in the ditch. Driving in the ditch. That's what I like to do, is driving in the ditch. See that big field down there? I would love to harvest that. And likewise, if it was going to like Blumenkart to export or GG Grains or whatever the hell the rest of them are down there, I would run them to the farm and then I'd truck them from there. Because it's just way easier to just focus on combining and that. And doing it myself, I dump it all into a grain cart and just go from there. You know, that size of field, I'd do 3 rounds on the outside, then I would work on back and forth in the field. Which would keep me pretty busy for a long time. Which is what I want. That's what I want in life. To stay busy. And make money, but stay busy is the big... Like, in life, I would rather stay busy and make a pretty good living. I can't complain. This year was pretty good. I stayed pretty busy. Didn't make enormous amounts of money, but we stayed busy and we made... The company did fairly well. So, at the end of the day, I can't complain. Well, I can, but I shouldn't. Holy crap. I guess for 100,000, you can have a lot of feed in there. We're actually sitting pretty decent for June right now. We were up on May. It would be even better if I had a contract. Hint, 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 hint. Oh well. I guess while we wait for a contract to come in, we can load up this stuff. I seriously need to find a freaking warehouse to put this stuff in. Because I wouldn't mind actually having it even on my main farm. Have a warehouse that I could put bales. I don't care about bales. Let's put all the pallets into. Because unfortunately, like right now, I'm probably going to end up taking these and taking them to the farm. Because I don't know if they're actually worth anything right now. I guess we could find out, couldn't we? So yeah, let's take a look here. Where are we at? Wool, actually, Norse market is not too bad right now. It's going up. That one's not bad. Eggs, market stand, it's going down, but my market stand stall for the eggs is still one of the best ones. What else we have? We have the honey over here, don't we? Where is my honey? Norse market's going up. It's not as good as beer production, naturally, but Blumengarde exports is second highest. And I don't know. I guess we could just hold on to it too. You might want to hold on to all of them. So that one's going up. Where were we at here? Wool, right? Wool was going up as well, wasn't it? Yes, it was. And eggs. Eggs are the only one I think that we would actually concern ourselves with getting rid of right away at the market. Because it is increasingly higher than what the rest of them are. So I think we store the wool, we store the honey, but we get rid of the eggs. I think that's a good way to go about it. Okay, before that falls off or I bump them or anything else, I'll put a strap on it. Throw a strap on it. That way we can't go anywhere. Okay, I'm gonna grab... I can double stack these to a certain point, but I think what I'll do is I'll just flat stack them. And I'll throw one on the far side because these aren't very big pallets. I can do basically 1-1-1 all the way across the trailer and be fine. Like that. I can do that. Actually, that reminds me. Well, that's running way backwards. Oh, yeah, we got the eggs left to do besides that, so we can do the 3 honey. How's this? Is this... we've got about 16 liters left to fill. I think we'll just take these over. The other thing we might want to do is buy like a little lawnmower. Boing and drive. Oh, this brings back memories. So, for a while, if anyone's new here and whatnot, they don't know. For a time in Canada here, I had a recycling company, a plastic recycling company actually, where we shredded and reground plastics to basically what's called a regrind. And with our regrind, because we cleaned it and everything, it could go right back into reproduction of new plastic products. Yeah, basically not a new idea by any stretch of the imagination, but it was, repurposing plastics. Anyways, for the longest time I did it at home. And I did it for like 3 months solid here. I mean, that's when I first started ramping up production on it, right? So I was starting to do all right. I actually had a couple contractors that were buying my products, and pretty steadily too. And like I'd make $1,300 here, or like $800 there for bag here, bag there of regrind plastics out of this little tiny regrind shredder that I actually got under cooperation. So I signed up with this partner program, right? And they were doing this partner program across Canada. And basically, if you signed up, they would, for $500, they would set you up with this shredder. And they would set you up with a few contacts and things like that to get you your foot in the door, basically, right? And in the end, what you had to do is you had to pay 10% of your profits, not your revenue, but your profits to this company. So basically, say if you made $1,000 and your profit margin on it, like depending on how you sourced it, say if you sourced it and you say, okay, well, I had to, for this $1,000, I had to pay $500 for the product. Okay, you're down to $500, right? Okay, out of this $500, that would be considered not profit but revenue. Off that, off your power, your expenses, everything else. Say you had $400 that you made. It'd be 10% of that they would take, so $40, right? Doesn't sound like much, but if you start making like $1 million, then it starts making sense, right? Alright, okay, no problem. These guys got it all figured. So I get this shredder. It's not a very big shredder. Like, this thing can only do maybe 200 pounds an hour. Under full chap, right? So you can only do so much. But at the same time, if you ran for an 8-hour shift on 200 pounds, that's 1,600 pounds a day. That's a fair bit of plastic, which works out to being on a good day, well, it depends on what kind of plastic, but say if you averaged it, you make about, you probably average between $200 and $250 a day in profits, which, okay, isn't too bad, right? So yeah, we got this, and we did everything, and I actually bought forks for the tractor, which I still use nowadays, to move the pallets and bags of shred, and we were doing some not too bad at profits then, and then I got together with another guy, which was another recycler, and we really started pushing into the marketplace with it. And once we did, we ended up actually, for a while there, we were doing some pretty decent numbers, right? I think at one point, I think we were averaging almost $1,000 a day in profits. So that's $100 a day that these guys were making off that one little machine. And then we bought another machine to up our production. It was great. This thing was a monster. But unfortunately, then we got a shutdown order from the government saying that we were supposed to bale everything and throw it in the dump, because apparently that's much better for the environment than what we were doing. I still can't figure that out. But anyways, would I do it again? No. The partner program, actually, they got shut down as well. That company no longer exists anymore either. And the sad truth is, we were actually in we are in talks with another multi-chain American recycling company that saw what we were doing in the area and knew about the other guys and were actually offering to buy us out. Not for an enormous amount, but at the same time, I didn't care because... Oops. Oh, okay. I don't want to sell it there. I want to sell it at the egg stand. The egg stand's way more. But it was enough to cover a lot of expenses and would have set us up for a long period of time. Oh, crap. Well, every egg is broken. Every egg is broken. Okay, that was impressive. That was an amazing flip, by the way. So yeah, it would have set us up for a while. And we would have had positions in the company, too. But yeah, no, that all went to the wayside in a matter of not even a year. We were in business for over a year and a half doing it, and then all of a sudden it just went poof. And in the end, I had to sell my machines. I got well, I wouldn't say I got screwed. I sold the machines and everything else. I broke even on the expense of the machines, but I didn't break even on the rest of it. No way, form, or fashion did I ever break even on it. I basically ended up having to pay basically 2 years of rent for a facility that we weren't using, and had to pay, well, they actually only paid for the usage of the space. So that worked out actually not too bad. But, unfortunately, in those terms, it's still a loss. And it cost me. Had we not been shut down by the environment Nazis, we probably would still be doing it. Like, I probably would have shut down my construction company and just done that. Because we were not only working on regrind, we were also starting to figure out and facilitate a means for a product that we were trying to also figure out how to patent. That all went to the wayside. Nobody around here sells regrind. Hell, all the MRFs in the area, they bale their products to take it to the dump now. There is no recycling facilities. Yeah, it's like a good job, guys. Good job. Alright, I'm just going to tab out real quick here. Gonna tab out real quick here. Here, ho, here. Hood, ha. I'll do that, because I'm going to go to here. Pallet warehouse. I'm just curious if I could spell warehouse. If there is actually a mod for... Oh, hey, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate that. Just saw that pop in. Yeah, thank you for the subscription. I really do appreciate that. There's a honey pallet warehouse. I want a multi-facility. That's what I want. Multi-facility. With a placeable pallet warehouse, you can store all pallets you can make in the game. Okay, apparently. Okay, it's base game, but that's more or less what I want, right? I don't think the rest of it really necessarily matters, but yeah, I kind of like it. 375,000 capacity. That's not bad. I'd have to look into that a little bit more. But I do thank you for the subscription. Again, that really does help us. I'm gonna recirculate that. It really does help. And of course, too, we are working towards the 500 to do the super chatters and stuff like that. Plus, we're also working towards getting the monetization and stuff as well. As I think it is, it helps us grow and keep doing what we're doing for the time that we put in. I know you guys are going to be tired of freaking ads, but, you know, it does help us. And I don't necessarily agree with PayPal either, so I'm not really going to force people to do donations with PayPal. It's kind of... It's not one of those things. But I may set up a Patreon at some point. And of course, if you guys want to, we do have many facilities on the planes of existence here that require names to be put on them, like our meat packing plants and everything else. We can name those, and I would actually prefer somebody to name them. And of course, like our beer production and our marketplace, or not even the marketplace. Isn't the marketplace? I don't know if the beer production actually has a name on it. I should take a look. I know when you consider honey, we have the Drunken Vikings and the Norse Market. Those are two that have been named so far, but there's many others that haven't. So when you actually consider, like, I don't think your beer production has yet. So if you guys have names, let me know. I would be highly interested in changing the names of some of my facilities, even if it's like Mr. Mr. Drunkface or something like that. I would be happy to change the name for you guys, because it's just kind of one of those things of, it's a sign of appreciation, but at the same time it's comedy, right? And I do know there's two series that we're sort of trying to work on and do right now. And one of the main ones is Without Ore that we're trying to work towards. And of course there's also Gold Rush that we haven't forgot about it. We are thinking about going back to it fairly soon. We did of course, if you guys have watched Gold Rush series, we did a couple seasons, and we did alright in them. But now we're actually looking at doing a scripted version, kind of like the actual Gold Rush series. um, that you see on Discovery Channel. We kind of want to do something like that, and the reason why we haven't pursued it yet is because we're trying to get a couple more people involved with that and do like single player, but yet do it as a more of a series. And basically, like my editor Eddie said, we could basically mash them together and say like, okay, well, we got 3 miners here, this is how they're doing, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. So we're trying to get it to the point now where it's like, okay, well, we're also, it gives it a different dynamic of having 3 different point of views of how things are going in the gold rush. And that's the reason why you haven't seen any gold rush videos as of yet, is we weren't going to do it necessarily as a single player anymore. We're trying to get like 2 or 3 more guys involved in it to make that a practical. So that's why we're going with maybe with ore and doing it as a sort of a gold mine sort of esque theme. That's kind of where we're playing off on that one. And of course, there's another new series that we're thinking of doing, which is another simulation game, and that's American Truck Sim. We haven't gone there yet, but we're thinking about it. We're in the process of trying to figure out how we could do that as a single media source. Basically, same concept as like what Gold Rush and everything else is, but as a simulation base. Because a lot of the long hauls and that is kind of boring to do on stream, so we're trying to think about how we can do that as a separate entity. Because we do, for the most part, all of us do enjoy doing simulation games. That's why we do what we like to do. I love playing Farming Sim, but I do like other games as well. And Assassin's Creed is one of those. It's kind of like a simulation assassin game, but at the same time it's a lot of nostalgia and everything else, so we continue to do that one for the simple fact of it's a lot of fun to do. That's why I say we have lots of things tabbled on our things to do, and if you are enjoying the content, the subscription button is the way to go with that. Because there are going to be lots of things coming down the pipeline. If we can figure out how to do proper editing and everything else with American Truck Sim, that'll be the next one after the Starship Troopers. If not, it'll be without ore. We haven't figured out either or, which one, or, get it? Stupid. Which one we're going to go with yet. It's still up. Ho, 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 ho! We're good. Accept contract. Okay, we're good to go. We're going to start this thing, and we're going to go out and see if we can swath 48. Is it 48? Is it 30? What? I accepted it without even looking. It's 85. 85 is the barley field. Alright, we're golden. We got a contract, baby. We are good. I'm gonna see if this thing will work. Okay, well, I'll have to stop and pull in here because people are stupid. Okay, you're gonna stop there anyways. Stupid people. I'm driving in a ditch. Swathers do not belong in ditches. They belong on the road. Ow! Oh, that just sucks. I just got splashback from rum in my eye. Not in a million years would that normally happen. Is it a sign? I mean, I enjoy this game all too much. Cruise control, thank you. I have an itch. I do love this game. Even if we do, like I said, even if a new game came out, I'd still play this one. I just enjoy it too much. I enjoy playing it for you guys, and if you guys learn anything about farming, that's just an added bonus. And I say it a million times, and I'll say it again. I am not a farmer in real life. I wait for it to load. I actually even got to help my neighbor. Help thy neighbor. He needed help for a day, so I did. Oh, it really is having issues. Yeah. Just when I take it off because I don't think I need it. Speed test. Okay, question to everyone out there. So I'm doing a speed test to figure out what's going on with the jitter thing, if that's a YouTube thing or if it's my internet. It's definitely not my, well, no, hang on, it could be. It could be. Okay, this satellite that we're using is kind of crap. So I'm using speedtest.net. I'm glad you guys can't see this. Why, you say? Because there's a Pornhub ad. What the hell? I get other internet providers and stuff on the sidelines, but why is there a Pornhub ad? I am not clicking it. I refuse to click this thing. This is not a thing I'm going to do. I am going to ignore the speed test now. That is... I did the refresh, and it's gone now, but there was a Pornhub ad. It's like... Okay, so people are really confused to why there is their internet's dropping and whatnot, so they're doing speed tests while watching Pornhub. Like, why is that? Why is that a thing? I wasn't going down to the end and around. That is bizarre. I gotta do it again. Can I do a refresher? Is there going to be more ads on the side? Okay, there are ads on the side, but it's, I don't know. They're now TELUS mobility ads. But why was there a Pornhub ad? Yeah, they're all TELUS mobility ads now. It's. I got nothing. I literally got nothing. I think I've been to Pornhub once in my younger years to see what it was like, but to be honest with you, it doesn't interest me at all. Especially porn in general. That's a good subject. We technically have written stories of sorts. But truth behold, we don't actually watch anything. Hey, thanks for the like. Like, that's why I typically have really bad relationships, is because I seek human contact instead of online contact. But I really question, like, did they get paid? Like, well, I've seen it on YouTube too. It wasn't a Pornhub ad, but it was a porn ad of sorts that was on YouTube one night. I was drifting through the dark side of YouTube, all right, and I got down to a dark side that was like very questionable. And once I got there, it was like, this is different. And once we started watching, watching the video, it's like, oh, there's another ad. It's like, okay, YouTube basically got paid an enormous amount of money to run this thing, so yeah. All right, shall we see if this will work? I guess I could probably get lined up for it, right? Will this swather work? I know the other ones will work. I don't have access to this land. It's 85, isn't it? Am I on 85? I'm on 85. Maybe the swather doesn't work for this one. I know it works for my personal. Maybe I do have to. But I like the case. That's why I did the straw thing. Or I guess it's in mowers, isn't it? Yes. Do I buy? I can't afford to buy it right now. I'll just lease this stupid thing. It'll cost me $7,000 for that. Now we need to go to the frickin' mowers, which are that. I'll lease that one. Yeah, 37. Cost me $10,000 to lease it. So let's see if it'll work now. Oops. And I went blazing past it. Ha. I don't even think it has a hitch. No. Screw it. I'll just hook up to it and drive. I'm gonna haul a Draper header around with this stupid thing. X. Oh. Whoop-de friggin' do. It turns into, it's not on a trailer, it is the trailer. This thing is huge, by the way. And if anyone asks the WDs for the John Deeres, there's a reason why they look so familiar. Oops. I just found a post. I've just wrecked my brand new machine. The reason why these things look so frickin' familiar, like especially on the side, they look like a very particular brand. It's because it is. The MacDons. They are basically 100% they are a MacDon. Without a question of a lie, they have a sponsorship with MacDon, basically, how it works out. And they work alongside of them, so they, of course, you have the MacDons and the John Deeres are basically the same thing. The big difference is these Draper headers. These Draper headers are kind of sort of, screw it, this field I know, I harvested this one, I can cut across. But the Draper header is kind of a specialty flex header that only two companies that I know of, I could be wrong in saying this, but two companies that I know of that have the big Draper headers. That's John Deere and Honeybee. Honeybee is another one that actually has a kind of a Draper header. So it's kind of a sort of an exclusive item. Do I like the Drapers? Absolutely. Being able to, especially on hills, to flex to meet the demand, you could say the demand of the hill, is huge. Because you have less cutover or less pitch roll, you could say, on your headers, which amazingly enough help dramatically. I think I sold my header, didn't I? Did I sell my header for doing this for 85 if this didn't work? I know it works for my own personal fields. I've never tried it for a contract. But I know the John Deeres do the swath for the grain. I just hope it does for the contract. Again, I don't know. I'm just here. I'm just here looking pretty. That's horrible. I do mean, though, I've had so much fun the last 2 nights. It's ridiculous. I don't think there's a bad night of farming sim. It is just massively... It's rewarding, but it's massive stress relief. Alright, shall we try this again? I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try it. We're only out 10 grand at the moment with this thing, so... Oh, appears not. I do donuts in it. So it does not actually work with other. Well, that just sucks. So we can do it with my own, but I can't do it with any others. Alright, well. Did I get rid of the other one? I want to say I did. Because I don't think I have the other header. I know I did on my personal one, but I got the corn shoot here. I think I did. Well, we'll just leave the swathers there. If we pick up more contracts, we'll just do it. I'll drop the header here. Like, there's nothing wrong with this Klaus. It's not a bad unit. It really isn't. It's actually quite a nice unit. Okay, this one is a wide boy for the opening, but how's this one? Could I use this header now that I leased it? How wide is this? It's... I don't know. Is it fairly wide? Yeah, it might be too wide for combine. I could bring it into the yard and find out. Because that's the one thing that I've learned from the John Deere WDs is the Draper headers from the swather actually fit onto the combines. There's a little bit of lore for you that you didn't know. Probably. Well, maybe. Some of you might. Some of you might be watching going, hey, I knew that. I thought it was kind of neat over time. And I know tomorrow is going to be hectic, busy. I'm going to be here, there, everywhere, and under the sun. But I think I should still make it for the stream tomorrow night for Project Zomboid on Another Planet, which is also it's coming to me eventually. Stranded Alien Dawn. We're still working. We haven't killed him off yet, so we're still working towards him. As soon as we do kill him off, of course, we're going to... whoa, hello. Can I get on the highway? There we go. Once we do kill him off, that's when we'll start anew. And up until that point, we'll still work with them and just sort of play around. We know where we fucked up, but we're getting through it now. So we're still going to be working on that, I think. And I say that because I have a coffee date late in the afternoon. And I say coffee date because it's kind of our first official sit-down, talky, datey thing. I wouldn't call it necessarily a date, but it's kind of a date, but not really a date. If that makes any sense at all. It's kind of... It's entirely new to me. I haven't been involved in quite a few years, so this is all new to me. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna work. Looks like it's too wide of a stance, but we might have to go lease a new header. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be way too big for this. For John Deere, it'd probably just fit right on, because their molds are bigger. Yeah, ain't gonna work. Alright. We take the close up, and we get another header. Because apparently I can't swath people's frickin' stuff. I can swath my own, which is good because I'm going to swath my own. Screw this. But apparently I do need to keep the header for my own personal endeavors. So yeah, so again, this is all new to me because I'm still playing around with this mod. I haven't quite necessarily figured out all that is of this mod yet, right? So contract wise, I think we can bale the straw. Like, I think there's baling straw contracts. But as for everything else, apparently we still have to use the headers, which means we gotta lease another one. I think that's what the one I was using. Come on. Stupid new mouse. Just as bad as the other ones. 1380, which is a 13.8. That's a Hydroflex. That's in a 45 foot. This one's a 1380. Those are the Hydroflex headers. Those are 15.2s. This is only 13.8. Screw it, let's do that. Lease that. Yeah, it's another $4,500 freaking dollars. Well, thank you, James Blair, for your subscription. I do appreciate that. I don't necessarily understand why it didn't come on to the hub, the alerts hub, but I did see it. When I actually looked at the other part, it popped up there, so I'm happy it popped up there, and I'm happy that I was able to, I hope, catch it in time to say happy subscription. I do appreciate it. I may not always notice, but I do appreciate everyone subscribing. It really does help us grow. We are a small little gaming company, but we are growing. And I do say company because, well, I own a construction company. For me to start up another company is nothing nowadays. It's like, okay, whatever. I run it under the same company, just different segment. I didn't, but you know what I mean. Unfortunately, I think I run the gaming side is the same as I run a business, though. It's like, all right, when times are tough, advertise. Which actually isn't too bad because Eddie, our editor, he manages all that for us. He basically says, okay, well, here's what I recommend you guys doing. Yeah, okay. I mean, he's an old guy that is helping us out. We've gamed with him a lot over the years. And he's just been a genuine good guy. And he used to be an editor for a major company. We won't say who, but we all know we all know who, in a sense. But he is honestly one of the best editors I've ever really known. But like he says, when you're starting out, keep it simple. Or actually, what he actually told me was, keep it simple, stupid. Which, when he said kiss, I didn't understand. I was going, well, what kind of kiss? Are we talking like the rock band? I like the rock band Kiss. Good idea. We'll keep it. We'll do it like Kiss. And he goes, you don't get what I'm saying, do you? I went, well, like the rock band. He goes, no, you idiot. He says, keep it simple, stupid. He says, you don't need to do all the fancy edits and everything else. He says, people will watch it if it's a good edit or a bad edit, regardless. He says, if the content's good, they'll watch it. And I went, oh, okay. I think he's right. Keep it simple, stupid. And I made the mistake one night. I was drinking a little bit and talking to him. And I said, so if we make merchandise sometime, should I have a Kiss shirt? And he says, like, fuck you do. Well, what do you mean? He says, you know, the name Kiss is actually trademarked, right? He says, if you go to that, you might get into trouble. I went, alright, fair enough. I do get that point. It's kind of like my company. Technically, my company, because when I was doing a bunch of other stuff, I did the trademarks. I have a registered trademark. I have a registered name. And if anyone takes the name or tries to use the trademark, I can frickin' sue them because it's a licensed trademark. I have a licensed trademark for 25 years for the name, which is kind of cool. Like well, at least when I think about it, I go, that's kind of cool. Maybe not so many other people think it is, but I do anyways. And like I said, there's probably oh, there it goes.
James Blair subscribed to the channel.
There we go. Thanks, James. I appreciate that. Don't worry, I got the update before. So remember how I was talking about Eddie? Well, I just got a freaking text message from him. I was going to say email, but no, it's a text message. He goes, I have no idea what the hell's going on with your freaking channel, but he says, I think I got it solved. He says, so hopefully you should see a subscription soon. Okay, thanks, Eddie. I appreciate that one. Thanks for trying to fix it. And a lot of times, like, when I run my stream, I all I have is one. I view it, right? So I view the video. It has a chat window on the side. I do have a 20-second delay on my channel, and whatnot. So it is what it is. But that's it. The other viewer that's always on, or normally on, like you always see one or two views. One of them is me. One of them is Eddie. He's always lurking somewhere there because he's usually trying to watch in the background just to make sure that if something happens, he's right there to try to help fix it, which is great, by the way. To have a friend like that is awesome. I wish everyone had friends like that. Yeah, I mean, it's really good to have friends, and it's like the age that I'm at, and this might be going off topic or whatnot. I apologize for it, but you know, we're doing it anyways. It's years and years ago. I always swore up and down that I'd never hire anybody because of the simple fact I don't have time to babysit them. And then out of the frickin' blue, it happened where I had to hire a secondary person on just because I was overwhelmed with the workload. And it's I'm being truthful in that sense. I was overwhelmed in the workload for this job. I need an extra pair of hands. So I contacted my one buddy, which is another contractor, and said, hey, you know what? I'm slow right now. I hired this guy. He's not a bad guy. He's a little bit slow, but in work, not mentally, but work, he's he's a little bit slower going, but overall knows what he's doing, willing to learn, and he's happy doing anything. So I think he would probably be a good bill for you. I said, hey, if you want to put him on loan, I would appreciate it because I need him for this job. And he says, yeah, no problem. And you pay him how you want to pay him. I pay him X amount. And I went, oh, that's fair. I actually pay him more than what he did, but I also pay him bonuses and other stuff too, right? And he basically said, well, yeah, so whatever you think, what or whatnot, but yeah, keep him until you're done the job, right? So we finished the job. It took 3 months, but we finished the job, and in the end, I said, well, it's unfair to you, but I'll. I wanted to keep him on at that point, but I said, it's unfair to you if you're looking for work and things like that to just, cut and run and that. So I'm going to talk to my contractor buddy. So I did, and I said, hey, it actually worked out really good with this guy. I hate to be the guy to basically say, yeah, cut and run, but I said, what is your plans with him? He says, well, how well did he work out for you? I said, well, it was amazing. I couldn't honestly ask for a better employee. And he says, really? And I said, yeah. Honest. And he says, So you're quite happy with his work then? I said, oh yeah, I'm actually quite enjoying his company too. And he went, all right, tell you what, if I ever need him, would you be willing to come and help me? And I said, yeah, absolutely, hands down. I'm not an issue. I'd come and help you anytime you needed me, right? He goes, okay, well, that's really good to know. So he says, yeah, no, I'm quite happy with, with that you've worked out for you. He says, yeah, if you want to keep him, keep him. Pay him as you feel is right for him. I said, okay, not a problem. So I've had him ever since, right? We had to go back and done a little bit of work for him and whatnot, but I mean, I couldn't ask for any better. Like, honestly, guys like him don't come along very often, and it's kind of refreshing to be able to do a job and not have to worry about him. It's like, okay, he's working on that project. I can focus my time working on this project, or I got a fire to put out over here. I'm talking on my phone while he's working away, or, well, recently it's like, okay, I need to make a jig to make this part of the flooring work while he's outside going da 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 do 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 do, and he's finishing off another project, right? And so it's honestly fantastic working with him. Not for him, with him, since I'm the boss. Unfortunately, I do see times are tough, and unfortunately, with times being tough, we do kind of, I mean, this is a slow period anyways. December workloads are always a little bit tough. January's tend to pick up for me. I know for retail in general, when you, holy crap, he's 80%. That's a heavy field. I know for a fact that most people, like, most retail, December is their pay period. This is when they make money, usually. Although I know a bunch of retail stores that are really starting to question our economy because they're not making money. They're actually way lower than they should be. But I digress. We're doing all right in a general sense of things. We still have. He's full. Holy crap. We're still doing fairly well. We still have some work built up. We have a few contracts before Christmas and whatnot. We have one major one right after Christmas, and yeah, we're doing actually not too bad. Would I appreciate a couple more big contracts? Absolutely. If somebody said to me, "Hey, could you lay a floor next week? We'll pay you whatever your rate is." You know, yeah, local rate. I know what it is. A lot cheaper than going further. But if somebody said to me, and it's a 2-hour drive, "Hey, could you lay 2,000 square feet of floor for me?" I'd go, "Yeah. When do you want us?" Do you have the flooring? Because yeah, no, I would do it. And actually, one of the big things, and this is kind of one of the major big things for me, is even though I'm considered a full-fledged general contractor. That's the one I'm looking for. I actually there's two things that I enjoy doing. One of which is decks and fences. Just because I can do my artistic flair on general framing, which most people never see unless you're doing decks. I enjoy doing that. And the other thing is laying flooring. Laminates and vinyls are two of my favorites. And the guy that I have working for me now, he even says it's like, well, I don't know where he got it from, but he started saying it's like easy money. Yeah, you got to go for that easy money. I'm going, well, it isn't bad, right? Like, I charge by the square foot to lay laminates and vinyls, which I think is what most people do. And to be honest, I can do, if it's a new build, I can do it better. I can do it faster. But if it's an older build, I can still do it reasonable. It depends. If I have to refinish or do stuff, it takes a little bit more time, but I can do it. I'm still a finishing contractor too. So, say it's a 2,000 square foot house. An older house. I have to remove carpet, remove flooring, remove baseboard, everything else, prep it, lay the floor, put the baseboard back on, refinish it, do all that. Basically, maximum for a 2,000 square foot house is about a week and a half. Done. Gone. If it's a new build, I can work stupid hours. I can lay that floor in 3 days. That's where the easy money comes from. And yeah, no, I have a lot of fun doing that stuff. Hey, it's just like the real ones. If you jerk the steering wheel, the cab rolls. In my brand new 9XR. RX. XR. 9XR. That's what it is. I don't know why there's seatbelts in mine too. I never freaking use them. We're not going fast enough that you can need a seatbelt. And honestly, you're all into the ditch. Ooh, look at all that hefty that pitch was. Whoa, my. It's probably actually beneficial. Everyone got to go around me then. When you're in a tractor, the pitch and the roll is a whole lot less than it is in a vehicle. if that was fully loaded grain cart, I don't know if I would have done that. Well, definitely not in real life. Now, not an issue. Not an issue whatsoever. Hey, that's field 85. Alright, I gotta go retrieve some grain. I know he's going the wrong way, but what was I gonna do? Well, I guess I could have sent him in the other direction. Oh well, I'll go into the field slightly, pick it up. Yeah, that's the right way, unfortunately. Oh, this brings back memories. I didn't actually do much for grain cart. I think I've done it once or twice only because nobody else could do it. And it was like, yeah, okay, I'll run grain cart. I know how to do it. He's parked there, so that's not any really issue. I can just basically come underneath it and grab it. Kind of like this. A little more right about there. We're good. If we can put it a little bit there, we go. Now we're good. I actually don't have a problem running grain cart. It's not my favorite job, but if nobody else will do it, yeah, I'll do it. For the most part, I typically am one of the guys that runs the combine. Actually, I'm one of the guys that runs the combine free stick. And by that means, I mean not on GPS. I'm one of the guys that does the first initial outside round, or I'm the guy doing the unusual, watch me try this and be amazed. Because at the end of the day, I'm one of the few guys that will go out to the edge of the slough and combine that and do everything else. While everyone else does their normal rounds up and down, I'm the guy that's free sticking it around the field. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Gets the job done. Oh, I must grab the frickin' truck. One of these things is not like the others. No, not that one. That one. We'll park that there. I need the Super Bee. Where is this one going? It looks like this one is actually going to... What the hell is it going to? I have a couple markers in the base, but I don't really know where the hell it's going to. I know the one pub with beer is supposed to be the other one, but this one's going to beer production. This one's going to the brewery. My brewery. Alright, well. That's alright. We will do that. It doesn't help my beer production, but I mean, it's easy to go to. I don't have far to go. It's basically my own farm. Oh, there's a few things I need to talk to Dad about. One was my little idea. I want to talk to him about that. Then, of course, there's the other one with my employee. He picked up a 2005 F-250 Super Cab. It's kind of in rough shape. It hasn't run in 7 years, but we managed to get it started and running to the point where it actually drives even. So it's not bad, right? Like we're on the up and up with that one. But Dad's friend today mentioned about this old Ford, the old F-250, and it's got a 6.8, I think it is, liter diesel in it, V8 diesel, and it's a good friggin' engine. It's only got about 200,000 kilometers on it, so it's in really good condition, right? So we're talking about it, and he says, well, you know, the engine itself's good, the truck sucks, but the engine's good. And both of us kind of clicked on and went, what if we took the diesel engine out of that, put it in his F-250? Like, I mean, the F-250 is nothing spectacular, but like, he's got a 5.4 Triton engine in those things, and those things were notorious for timing chain issues. Alright, well, I'm in the field with this. I know where it's going. I just need to get to this. I gotta turn around. But even this edge of this field with this cart right now, I'm not worried about. I can turn, I can do this. That's not a problem. Yeah, not a problem at all. That should work out just nice. There we go. So, yeah, no, we might think about, being that Dad is a heavy equipment mechanic in his former days, he should know if we could do it that way. I don't know if the end or the transmission will bolt up to it or the transfer case, but it's something to talk about, because those 5.4 Tritons were useless. 3/4 ton Fords weren't bad. They really weren't a bad unit. But I will say, no, go away. Go away. I'm not dumping into you. Go away. Yeah, those stupid 5.4s were useless. And we started really doing comparisons because, of course, that's a 2005 Ford, right? 3/4 ton. I have a 2023 GMC 3/4 ton. We start looking at the differences in weight. Mine's way heavier. But the towing capacity, these new vehicles and their towing capacity is insane. Literally insane. And I don't know. I started looking at him going, the weight class hasn't changed any. Okay, I think I did this right. Yep, we're good. Well, this right now feels exactly like it really is. Especially since with the John Deeres, this is kind of the problem with them, is you got this stupid back A pillar in the side one, and you can't really see where your spout is. I'm assuming it's going in. Went somewhere. The cases are better for viewer, and like I said, after running my cousins, I will say that the joystick and the interface with your RPMs and everything else is way better with the case. And I hate to say it because I'm not a case guy, but John Deere, you need to up your game, because Case's system and the user interface is way better. Like, come on, guys, get with the program. Oh, he's full again. I better make my mile. John Deere does have their ups, though. There's some pretty major ups. There's some pretty major downs, too. Like, one of the major ones is hooking up, I noticed. The Case is way better at this than what John Deere is. So if I pull this thing... Holy crap, he's full again. It's going to be a busy field, I think. Alright, this is a good indication of this. Can you see where that's hooked up on the hitch? I can't. The real one's the same. You need a second guy with the John Deeres to be able to tell you, okay, you're 6 inches away. Okay, you're 2 inches away. Oh, no, you've gone too far. The case, though, is way better. You can actually visually see where that pin's supposed to be, so you can back up and go, okay, if I pick that up, it's going to be fine. It's annoying, but yeah. That is the reality of it. Unfortunately. So our fancy mod only works with our fields. Unfortunately, we can only swath our fields. Kind of like, oh, well, darn. Oh, well, we tried. I'm just doing a text while I think of it. You can hear him backing. Where are you backing up to, dude? Dude. Where are you going? Dude. Backing up to offload? What's this? Yes. What the hell? Nope, still backing up. What are you doing? Drop the head or two. And let you know. And back to the regular schedule programming. Bane 1 cannot complain. I don't know why he was backing up. Is he planning on going back around again? Or screw it, I'll just combine myself. Seems almost more logical than what that was. Whatever you consider that was. I'm just going to double check a few things here. Sensors. I also have a message on here. What the hell? Is it this side or is it this side? Questionable? No. This side. I don't know. That would be my sweaty feet skipping across the ground there. A bunch of skippity-doo-wah. Oh, that's what that was saying. Alright, not an issue. Hey! Thanks for that subscription. I appreciate that. I just got it. Thanks, everyone. I really appreciate the subscriptions tonight. It has made my night. It really has. I really can't honestly thank you enough. But anyone that is new here and wants to continue to enjoy the content and you like what's going on and you want to hang out and enjoy the games with us, absolutely hit that subscription button and come hang out with us. We tend to do lots of fun things all the time. We tend to have good conversation for being old guys. I say old guys. I'm not necessarily. I'm trying a different rum, but may not necessarily be like the old guys like Dad is, but I am probably older than most of my audience. That's why I say when I have a coffee date tomorrow, and it's a whole lot of newness, you could say, for me, but at the same time, like, I don't know, it feels different. It doesn't feel like the same high school buzz type thing as it used to be, but now it actually feels more. It's hard to explain. I wouldn't consider it necessarily as a new commitment. I would say it almost feels right in a sense, but at the same time, it's not a pressure. I need to marry this girl type thing. It's basically, we're both on the same page of we've both been there. We both have had bad experiences she's had a lot worse than I have. I will honestly say I've never been married. She has. I've never had the ultimate ex that tries to take away a kid because I don't have any kids that I know of. I'm pretty sure I don't. Well, there is that possibility. But anyways, there's a possibility, but I wouldn't say I have any children. I didn't raise any children, let's put it that way. I haven't been to that point. So she has it worse in that sense. She's fighting for her child. She only has one. But still, she's fighting for keeping him as hers. It's a struggle, and that's basically what the coffee date is more or less about. It's not about talking it over, going, okay, well, what if you had another child, or what if? No, it's none of that. It's basically like, geez, how can I help? And it's like, well, all I need is somebody to talk to. Yeah, okay, that's not a problem. I'm here for you. Whatever you need. Like, if you just want to talk about getting, even if it's the stupidest fucking chat you can think of, doesn't matter. It's something to distract your mind. I mean, anytime anything bad has happened in my life, you know what I've done to sort of bypass it, or I wouldn't even say bypass. Not really ignore it either. Basically, just sort of move on from it. Is work. Plain and simple. I keep my mind busy doing other things. Like, a good example of this, my grandfather meant the world to me. Literally, he was my role model. Which is my dad's dad. Honestly, it was one of the greatest guys you'd ever meet in life. And he taught me a lot, but at the same time, when his passing went on, you know what I did? I found out at 10 o'clock at night that he passed away. And I went out, I had a drink, his drink, His favorite drink, of course, was a, well, kind of like a crowbar, except without vodka. It was Bacardi white rum and Coke. So I had one of those in the shop, and Dad and I just finished sheeting the shop, so it was basically rough OSB in the shop. Dad wasn't home at that time. He was coming home. He wouldn't be home for 3 days at that point. So basically at 10 o'clock at night, I opened up the 5-gallon pail of paint. And at 3 in the morning, after having a few drinks, I mourned his passing. I got to work. With heavy, like, this isn't just normal paint. This is lacquer, right? This is high gloss lacquer. White lacquer that we put in the shop. I frickin' rolled it on, right? One, you should never roll lacquer. But I did. And actually, it turned out fantastic, by the way. But I digress. I basically, there was a half bottle of white rum left. I drank the entire thing. I got shit-faced, and I fucking painted the entire shop. I kept my mind busy. And that's just simply what it was. Alright, I'm just about at the end of the field, but I think I can do this. So, yeah, that was one instance. When my grandmother passed away, my dad's mom, we were re-roofing. We were switching out from a metal roof to a sheeted and shingled roof. And we got about halfway done. I got the phone call when we were on the roof saying, geez, from Mom's work, saying, geez, it sounds like your grandmother's not doing well. Where's your mom? And I said, well, I got her cell phone. I'll try to get a hold of her. Got a hold of her. Didn't hear anything for about an hour. And she phoned me, and I just had climbed off the roof at that point. And she phoned me and said, well, unfortunately, I have some bad news for you. I said, well, what? And she says, well, your grandmother had passed away. And the three words that I said in repetition was, fuck, oh fuck. And and I went to my uncle. I said, I got to go to town. He says, well, what's up? I said, apparently my grandmother passed away. And he goes, oh, crap. Sorry, buddy. He says, yeah, just go. Don't worry about it. Just go. And I went. She passed away. There was nothing I could do about it, but I was there to console the family, everything else. And then came back, and that night and day, my uncle and I, non-stop basically, tore off all the rest of the metal off the roof, tore off the shingles off one side, and we finished shingling that whole section. And it was like again, it's just keep your mind active. Don't think about the negatives, just think about the positives. And I find that the same with this. It is a new relationship, but I find the same in regards to it. It's like, keep your mind active. Don't dwell on the negatives, just focus on the positives. So I assume I should be back in time for the live stream, but just so you guys all know after watching this that yes, I am having a coffee date with a particular somebody and that I may be a little bit delayed depending on it. But it again, it's not a negative. It is a good thing, a very good thing for both of us, actually. Oops. Yes, you should always drop your header when you're about to start Combine again. It is honestly a good thing for both of us. I haven't been in a relationship for at least a year, and the last one ended. It still feels kind of sour. We had a lot in common. She was a really nice lady. She was a diehard workhorse and everything else, but her family was the issue. Her father approved of me. Her mother and 2 brothers did not. And they sort of conspired against me, you could say. And I'm not making this up. That is what it is. Her brother actually cornered me and basically threatened me, at which point I threatened him back. And that's when he threw the first punch, and I ended the conversation. And everyone after that point basically figured out pretty quick that I was not the kind of guy to fight. And honestly, if anyone knew me, they'd know right off the bat that I hate fighting. I will never start the conflict, but I'll end it. And unfortunately, I ended it. And I ended it more than one way. And that's it. Unfortunately, it's a circumstance that I have to live with. Should I have done it that way? Probably not. Do I feel bad for it? Yes, I do. But unfortunately, she didn't have a say in the matter. It was about the men of the family, and the men did not approve of me, other than her father. But again, apparently his voice didn't matter in this circumstance. It was her mother and her 2 brothers. The younger brother was the one that was the mouthy little son of a bitch. The older brother, though, was the one that I fought with. He was the one that I didn't really threaten him, but I told him that if I ever saw him again, that I'd basically turn his teeth into powder. So that ended that conversation pretty damn quick. Especially since I broke his arm and broke his rib in 3 punches. And that's basically when the relationship ended, because she unfortunately saw the damage that I did to her brother, and well, after that point, it basically she sided with her brother instead of, well, I wouldn't say me. Siding with me in that circumstance probably it wouldn't have made any difference. But the fact of the matter is, of how much he belittled her pissed me off. And even her father, to a certain point, pissed me off, because he had no backbone to see what his sons were doing to his daughter. So, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, again, it's one of those things. Do I dwell on it, or do I move on? Unfortunately, I dwelled on it for too long, and then I moved on. Because I thought for sure that was going to be the one to end all of the ones, right? I figured for sure that because we had so many common interests, that no matter what, she was going to be the perfect one for me. But unfortunately, it didn't go that way. So, let bygones be bygones, and I moved on. That was a horrible fight, by the way. he clobbered me in my fucking shoulder, and to this day, I swear, I still have a fucking welt. Like that bloody hurt. Why aren't you freaking filling up? Oh. Ha! What do you know? It's 54% full and it's max weight. Well, that sucks. Oh, that's right, I changed that. So we can only have 42,000 liters because of max weight. Oh, well, that's not entirely a bad thing. So, yeah, that one hurt me. Physically and mentally, that one hurt me. More than what most of them did. And, like I said, I thought she was going to be the one. But the damage, I think it wouldn't have been so bad if I didn't throw those consecutive punches. Again, the biggest problem with me is I'm a bar brawler, so there's a reason why I don't go to bars anymore. And my size, strictly put, my size is the biggest downfall. Again, being 6'5", I can lick a load of damage real quick. Just because of how big I actually am. And the amount of force that I can freaking jab it's honestly insane. Okay, this truck is pretty much full. Alright, well, I'll go down anyways. Might as well set this guy up. We know that we can do 3 fill-ups anyways. It is a long stream tonight. It is. I actually like the longer streams. Most of the time I don't actually get home to do them in time for them. So when it does fluky happen, I will fluky do them. But yeah, no. That one physically and mentally hurt me. And the problem is too, because I didn't even have anything to drink. That was one of the problems. I wasn't as mellow as I should have been. And when he struck the first punch and ricocheted, like I blocked most of it, but it ricocheted off my shoulder, that was it. It was like game on. And I didn't stop until he was on the ground bleeding. And unfortunately, that was 3 punches. Which is really scary when you think of it. I laid a guy out cold at 3 punches. And the first one was his rib cage right underneath the solar plex, and you could hear it go crunch. The next one was he threw a punch. I frickin' blocked it, and I punched right below the frickin' elbow, and you could, his whole arm snapped backwards. And the next punch, I uppercutted him and just laid him out. Like, I mean, it was frickin' brutal. And it was a quick 1-2 punch. Well, 1, 2, 3. So that ditch is fairly steep, as I found out. As I'm stuck now. Alright, we shall go this way. So, yeah, in a lot of regards, I really upset with my performance, but at the same time, it showed true colors, and unfortunately it showed true colors. So this one though, this new one, it's different for me. This one means a little bit it doesn't mean more, but it's completely different from anything I've ever had before. And maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Again, I've been through so many bad relationships, I don't even know what's a good one anymore. At least I'm not like my employee. That poor bastard. And the judge was fantastic on that one. So, apparently what happened to him was he's been in a couple bad ones. He's got 2 baby mamas. He's got 3 kids. None of which he has actually custody for, even though he's the one that works. He's the one that has the job. He's the one that's stable. Mentally and whatnot. So this one apparently did a bunch of cocaine and decided to go do her hair or whatnot. And she was in like a salon, and it's like 30 degrees outside. Left the 2 kids in the vehicle locked in the car. Well, my employee found out exactly what she was up to, and he went there, saw the kids in the car, and lost it. And honestly, from what he describes it, I would 100% do the same thing. And the judge in the case said the same thing. He says in the same context, he probably would have done the same thing. And what he did is he blacked out. He grabbed the tire iron out of his truck and blew the back window out to rescue the kids. And he got arrested because of what at first the cop thought was he was A, endangering the kids, and B, was a mischief charge. I can't remember what the hell they described it as, but it was like it wasn't an assault, but it was like battery or damage or what have you. It was... Where the hell do I actually drop this off of here? It wouldn't be there. That's the other one. There is no drop point for this. Where the hell do I drop this off? Alright, I'll drive in my field if I have to. I'll turn around. So, they got arrested, had to spend the night in jail, got out, had to appear in court, which he did. The judge said, in circumstances, he would probably end up doing exactly the same thing. So he dropped the charges down to mischief and said, hey, you know what? You have to pay for the back window of the car. We'll get by this by doing that. Okay, what happens if I do this? Does this actually work like this? Because that's going to beer production. Stop. We've made a hell of a mess underneath the truck. I am stuck. Well, that didn't fucking work at all, did it? We're gonna hire him off. We are going to grab this tractor, which is the closest one. It was offloading so bloody nice, too. We may have to grab the other tractor with the front end loader. I'm going to try to push him off. Like, where the hell else do you offload him? The truck might be far enough off now. Oh, it's stuck. Why won't you accept my grain offering? Alright, maybe now I can take him from the ass end, pop him up enough that maybe? I mean, it's got to go there, right? That was definitely not a hard enough hit. Yeah, so tomorrow is a completely different thing that I've ever had to deal with, which could be a good thing. Can I back up at least? A little bit. Still haven't backed into the tractor yet, but like, it's supposed to be dumped at the beer production. This is bull. Maybe I'll do the other way. Maybe instead of rear-ending him, I'll try to nail him from the front and pop him over. And of course, the problem with that is we're going to have to go get the other tractor with the bucket and try to figure out why it won't take it. Unless it's just too low and it just won't take it. No, that ain't gonna work. Too much of a frickin' angle. Now that we've run into it with the truck. Okay, that actually might help. We're now off of it, maybe enough? Okay, I know we're jackknifing the trailers, but as long as we can get out of the pile enough. I've noticed more and more that the Super Bs are great and all, but they don't actually work for this. Because that's where the contract is. Yeah, this is the item I'm needing. I need the bucket. I almost have a full pallet there too. I have a full pallet on this one now. Bunch of bucks. Okay, I scooped him. For now, I'm just gonna put it over here. See if we can figure out the stupid beer production. I think we did this once before and I couldn't figure it out. I mean, if we ended up having a few extra bushels of it, I'd be still fine with it. Yeah, we got a pallet there, so yeah, we're making eggs. That guy, drop it there, that'd be fine. Drop it there, grab the bucket. It's always something. Yeah, so it like I said, I might be delayed tomorrow night, I might not be. I don't know. I've yet to figure it out. If I am, cool. If I'm not, oh well. I might actually need an auger. That might be the biggest thing, is I might need an auger to run underneath the Super Bee, offload it, and just dump it in. That might be the biggest issue. We'll see in a second here if I can scoop it up and dump it. Just sort of roll the bucket. That might be the issue. we're gonna find out real quick here. I probably won't stream for too much longer on this. Like we did manage to get a contract. We were supposedly into the money again, and actually even with a $40,000 contract, after all the stuff that we had to deal with, we still have the potential of getting the beer or the barley production up on here in one scoop. Now, did that actually work? Is it actually going in on it, or... Let's see, coming out. Still 15%. But I don't know how much it'll take before that number disappears. Like, this isn't too much for amounts, right? But it looks like it is disappearing. Yeah, 1% transported. So this is where we need to go, but yeah, yep, 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%. So we're gonna have to go buy an auger. Because otherwise this is gonna take for freaking ever. I don't know why the point of which, or the origin point on this, is so fricked up. But I may play with this after, like off camera, so we can get it figured out for next time. Because obviously with barley, we're going to have probably beer production is going to be the top one, right? It's not bad, it's just the super bees, for whatever reason. I guess we could try that once before we end tonight. Let's dump the super bee. Let's dump the super bee into these guys, and then we'll fill it with the Mac. The tandem. And see if that works. I mean, if that's the workaround, that's the workaround, right? We're gonna see anyways. If anything else, to haul it from the field to here with the super bee is the easiest. If we have to go from here to there with the tandem, so be it. Actually, there's one other way we could do it too. You just use the grain cart. The grain cart might actually do it too, because it's a lot higher up. Where this one, for whatever reason, the way the cart is designed, it doesn't work for a lot of stuff. Like, it doesn't work for the air carts either. But the tandem does. That's why I'm kind of thinking maybe it might work with the tandem. Alright, well, we're harvesting barley. I remember my old grandfather's truck. That's why I say oats barley. 56,000. Well, we can do 22,000. See where this ends up. Maybe it might work. I don't know. But the tandem seems to work better than the stock frickin' Super B does. Super B is nice for hauling. Oh, look at this. Okay, that's the workaround. We don't need to buy anything else. The tandem will work. We just need to double dip with it. Maybe we need a half dozen frickin' tandems. Tandem and a pup. I mean, I could hook up a trailer to the ass end. 6% transported. Okay, so from the field to here, we'll use the Super B and plant it in ours, since that works. And then we'll just use the tandem to haul to there. I guess that's the way we're going to have to work it. If it's beer production, that's the way we're going to have to do it. It's kind of shitty, but that's the way it's going to be. Anyways, thanks for the awesome night, everyone. I really do appreciate everyone coming and hanging with me. The new subscriptions, hope you enjoy the channel. And, of course, all the likes and whatnot. That really does help a lot. You don't realize how much it does actually make a difference. It really helps. And I do really thank you for coming out and hanging and doing all that stuff. So if you are new here and you are watching this at a later date, feel free to hit that subscription button. It's underneath the video, and of course the house girl in the bottom right corner of the video as well. He's going through a phase, but if you smack him upside the head, he's actually a really nice guy, and he'll pop out a button, press it, and he'll go away. And of course you can hit the likes, share to your friends and family, as it does help us grow. And of course hit that alert bell so you know when we go live and new content comes out. And I'll keep you posted on Twitter what's going on. If things magically happen tomorrow or whatnot, I will let everyone know on there. And of course too with that, that's at BigNorsk at Twitter. And of course you can keep tabs on what I'm doing and the weird crap I get into. Twitter is an endless selection of mischief. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate everyone coming out and hanging with me while I'm going through the farming thing and going through life's little bumps and hiccups and whatnot. And yeah, we will see hopefully everyone tomorrow. I'm thinking it'll be Stranded Alien Dawn, but if I end up going later, it might end up being just War Thunder. We'll see. I will keep everyone posted, like I said, on Twitter, what's going on, and we'll go from there. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging with me for 3.5 hours, and we will see everyone hopefully on the next one. Take care, everyone, and thanks for watching.